Jackpot people, how una dey? I don't carry my wahala come back. Welcome, 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 everybody, welcome. So, welcome everybody. Um, I know over the years I have I've been one person that has looked down upon the real estate sector in Nigeria. Um, and I always recount my experience. I bought my house. When I bought it, it was about $300,000. And right now, it's worth about $300,000 again. And that's because of the recent um, rise. But this like took, I'm talking about a 13-year period. Right now, this is the best time to plug in to real estate in Nigeria, especially on the island, because prices are going up. One of my neighbors is into development and he just built 10 units at $350,000 each. And he said he's not selling, he's holding. A lot of people would, this is the wrongest time to invest in America. If you are in America now, unless you are a millionaire, I think you should invest in Nigeria right now. If you live in America, if you live in the UK, this is the time to invest in Nigeria. It will pay you off. Why am I saying this? I spoke to Bongoli today at length, online and offline. I shared my fears of what's happening in Nigeria with him. I also shared my concerns as well as my understanding of what's happening in Nigeria with him. And at the end of the day, we both agreed that this is the best time to invest in Nigeria. My house is walking distance from the coastal road, the road that leads to Calabar from Victoria Island, from Eco Atlantic, all the way down to Calabar, passes behind my house here. When I say walking distance, there was a time the road was blocked, and one of my friends stays in an estate across that road. We walked from the house, Tazebot and I. We walked to the road, crossed the road, and then he picked us up because we couldn't pass and there was nowhere to park our cars. So since our house was not that far, we just could use leg to waka go the junction. Waka go that road, cross the coastal road. Then he picked us up with his car and took us to his place. And when he dropped us, he parked his car at the side of the road, crossed the highway with us, and that highway that is under construction, and then walked us to our gate. And then Tisbot and I walked into the estate and walked home. Now, you don't understand what that means. It means this whole area is now going to become, is already prime property, but it's now going to become super prime property because of the road network. And because you don't have to go all the way into Aja, we're closer to the first roundabout. I've seen the way prices are rising even in places like Banana Island. So my thoughts are, as you be American, what do you think about investing in Nigeria? What do you think about buying property in Nigeria? What are your thoughts? Do you think this is a good move? Let's share our concerns. Let's share our thoughts. Let us discuss this in depth, in detail, so we can come to a conclusion. Don't take my word for it. What are your thoughts? Mr. Stat says diversify your portfolio, and I agree with that 100. It's the American people that makes the real estate in Nigeria overpriced. If America is not doing well, that means real estate in Nigeria will be terrible. The real prices in Nigeria are overpriced. Huh. It's not just America, oh. It is also demand and supply. Once there is demand and there is a shortage of supply, simple economics will tell you that prices will go up. Prices will go up. Most people abroad don't want to say anything good about Nigeria. No, Nigeria, I don't know if you carry my money put for there. What are your thoughts? Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Someone says it's a financial mistake. Why do you think it is a financial mistake? Why do you think it's a financial mistake? Brother, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Very well, thank you. So, what are your thoughts?
All right. So I've had countless debates on this topic. Okay, and if you are trying to invest in real estate in Nigeria just because you want to have something in Nigeria, that's a complete total reason. That's a complete total thing. But if you are trying to invest in real estate in Nigeria because you are investing, just like we are calling it here, that is a complete wrong investment.
Why would you say that?
Okay. As long as Nigerian money keep depreciating or keep devaluing, okay, the way you ask me, why will I say that? Maybe
I'm listening.
Nigeria to go buy outside Nigeria. Have you ever wondered or asked yourself that? Like, why will I go to Nigeria to buy real estate while I can even buy a $60,000 house in the worst ghetto in America and get that money back in 5 years? Even if I have unemployed people in that house that the government is paying for, why will I go and buy that kind of? Why will I? Again, I will tell you that most people abroad, including me, we buy properties in Nigeria just to have that attachment to home. But if you call it investment, it's a wrong one.
Brother.
Completely wrong one. I can go to the worst neighborhood in my city here, where they sell houses for $40,000-$50,000. I can go and buy one. I can rent it to unemployed people that the government will be paying their rent, and I will get that money back in 4 years. And even if I still want to sell that house, I can still get even double of what I paid for that house.
I'm not talking about double. I'm talking about
Okay.
multiplying your money by 6. You see, when I say invest in Nigeria, I don't mean in your village. The big
Daddy
house in
Freeze.
your village. You see,
Daddy
this
Freeze. There
Lagos,
is no 50
hold on.
years old
The
man.
way this
There is no
Lagos is
50
going now,
Daddy Freeze.
you will
Daddy
say, I
Freeze.
told
There
you.
is Daddy Freeze. There is no 50 years old man in Nigeria today at the age of 50 that will invest 300 million in real estate and collect rent times 3 till he die, till he passes away.
No.
It's not possible.
Brother, first of all, you're talking about the dollar being unstable. The dollar has been
Okay.
what you see. The problem with the dollar is not if it's 3K or if it's 10K or if it's 500. The problem with the dollar is if it is 500, let it stay 500. If it is 1.5, let it
If
stay
it's
1.5.
if that is the case, then we don't have a problem.
Now, the dollar has
If
been
that is also the
stable.
case.
The dollar has been stable so far. You understand? There
Daddy
is
Freeze,
a
so you consider
demand. Right now, I don't
Daddy
get money
Freeze,
new.
do you think do you think dollars will remain the same amount in the next 5 years? Whatever you call stable today.
Now,
Can you
if the
guarantee that?
government, hold on, if the government can do what they need to do to keep it stable, which they have done, they've managed to. Not easy, but they've been able to manage it. If they can do it for the next 5 years, Nigeria will become an investment haven. You see, I'm seeing the signs. You guys are not in Nigeria. That ghetto that you want to go and put your money inside, don't put your money inside it too.
Daddy Freeze, the key word here is and the goal of investment is to make money. Okay? If I would put 150 million in Nigeria, I there's no way you will guarantee me that I
150
will make
million in
150
Nigeria.
million.
150 million in Nigeria is nothing. You won't get anywhere.
Okay.
I'm talking
Thank you.
about $200,000.
Okay, exactly. With that kind of money,
Hold on.
Daddy Freeze, at the
With
end of the day, this is
$200,000,
mathematics.
with $200,000 in 5 years, your property should be worth between $600,000 and $700,000.
Okay, Daddy Freeze.
You see, the
I would
problem is
rather.
we all entered. Let me explain something to you.
Okay.
We
I
all
love
entered
my
when.
brother here
Do
that
you
gets to
realize that
talk.
12 years ago, 12 years ago, it was more expensive to live in Nigeria than to live in the US or the UK? I'll give you an example.
Daddy Freeze.
My children, hold on. My children went to a school where I was paying $6,000 equivalent per term for two children. That's 12K a term for times three, $36,000 a year for secondary school. And it wasn't the most expensive school. The most expensive schools were paying $50,000 a year, $40,000 a year per child. You see, the problem then was there was an artificial strength that the Naira had. It wasn't, it was artificial. My boss um, had 10 flats where we used to stay in Cool FM. Each flat was going for $100,000 a year rent, and he was collecting it in dollars. And if you wanted one of those flats, you have to apply 2 years prior. There was no space. They were sold out. So we had a lot of inflow, and the economy was good. That time, dollar was 1.5. So the Naira was very strong. To live in Nigeria then, Papa, dollars, you carry $2,000 is nothing. You can't get anything in Nigeria. But you see, here's now, wait, let me analyze finish, then you can talk. Now it is the opposite. The Naira is weak, the dollar is strong. When I bought my house, is not when I should have bought it. I should have bought it now. You never buy when it is high. It's like you bought Bitcoin at $100,000.
I mean, you'll have still made money.
$8,000 on every Bitcoin.
No. If you buy Bitcoin at 100,000 and you sell at 100 and what did it climb up to? What's Bitcoin's high? About 108, 109. 108.
You are going to make $8,000 on $100,000.
I will not invest 100,000.
Imagine somebody that bought that Bitcoin at $33.
Exactly.
So now, what I'm telling you is, hold on. Now, what I'm telling you is, in Nigeria now, the Bitcoin is $33, $33,000. The Naira is weak. So the dollar purchasing power is high. When we bought our properties then, the dollar was weak, the Naira was strong. The buying power of the dollar was weak.
Okay.
Now, the buying power of the dollar is strong. So this is when you buy, if you have dollars. This is when you buy Nigerian property.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
We're talking about investment. So if I use, going by what you just said now, the Naira is weak. So if I now use my dollar that is strong to pump into Nigeria in buying real estate, then I'll be getting my rent in that same weak Naira.
You are not getting your rent now. Now let's see. You are doing a 5-year investment.
Okay.
You are not looking at your rent. Whatever your rent is, minimal, ignore. You are looking at, and trust me, within 5 years, the Naira value of your rent will have caught up with the dollar value.
Well, again, until somebody else or until somebody tell me the opposite. I've lived here. Come July, it's going to be 25 years I've lived here. Every year, all I have seen is depreciation. I remember buying a piece of land for $10,000 when exchange was 182.
That was the wrong time to buy.
Okay.
That's when I bought.
That land was 1.8 million naira. Exchange rate was 182. Today, even if you sell that land, remember that land was 1.8 million naira, less than 50 years ago. What is it? If it's worth maybe about 17, 18, it would be $11,000 or it would be the same $10,000. So,
now, hold on. You are not seeing what me I'm seeing. Hold on. Now,
if I have a plan of eating that money in Nigeria for no reason, or if I have a second plan of buying that property, renting that property, collecting that money, and using that money for a complete different thing in Nigeria, maybe yes. But if I'm pumping 200,000 or 300,000 US dollars from here to Nigeria to buy property and rent it and convert it to dollar,
Baba, just buy the property and hold and sell it 4 years from now.
That's what I just said.
Forget about the rent. Just buy it and hold. And sell it 4 years from now. Baba, you will quadruple that money.
If I may, I have property that went from giving 12,000 a year, exchange rate pushed it to 10,002 a year, exchange rate pushed it to 8,001 a year, exchange rate has dropped it all the way to about 6,000, 5,007 a year. That's rubbish. I can get that in 4 months in the hood in America.
Baba, forget, even in New York, in America, where Nigeria is going. You see, my problem is what you are not getting it. This is the dip. Buy the dip. If you understand crypto or stock, I am using stock to analyze Nigerian real estate. This is the dip. We bought on a high. When you buy on a high, you will lose money. And if you do make money, you can only make crumbs. Anybody that bought Bitcoin at $95, 95,000, 100,000, 105,000, bought the high. If
Again,
Bitcoin now crashes down to $60,000, that is the dip. Buy the dip. That is the
again,
logic I'm telling you. You see, you are using your experience of buying the high. You bought the high. I
the
bought
freeze.
the
No,
high.
I did not
Hold
buy
on.
the high.
You did. You
No.
bought when Naira was 180 to a dollar.
Mhm.
That is the high. Now Naira is 1.5 to a dollar. This is the dip.
That the
Anybody
freeze
that
when I bought
understands.
that the freeze when I bought that land for 1.8 million, 10,000
My brother,
dollars
you
for
are,
one
you see,
lot.
my brother, and
It was no
you just
joke.
they argue this thing. You are not understanding the price fluctuation. See,
Okay.
ask anybody who is into Nigerian real estate. Baba, people, the way people they mop up the properties. Right now, government is actually going after because they are selling in dollars. Everybody has now woken up. They are now selling in dollars. Baba, you will see house of $20 million. Fear go catch you. $20 million. How many people get $20 million house for? You a fool. Simply Vic was here with me the other day. We drove down the road. You go see shop where they just align Rolls Royce, Rolls Royce, Rolls Royce, Rolls Royce, Lambo, Lambo, Lambo.
Again, at the end of the day, everybody will do what pleases them. If I am buying in Nigeria for pleasure or for the
Baba,
pride to say
forget
I'm a
pleasure.
Nigerian,
This
that's
is the
different.
dip. Buy
But
for
if you
investment
live in if you
now.
live in America, if you live in America and you're hearing my voice, it is a wrong investment. Do not do it. I don't care what language
No
you're going
listen
to
to
use to tell
Americans.
me.
So they never see waiting
Don't
Trump go
do
do
it.
them. Una never know
If you
waiting
live
Trump
in
one
America,
do
if you
now.
live in America, do not do it. Don't
Baba,
do
you
it.
where they live for America, you don't know waiting Trump won't do you. Just first calm
Trump,
down.
what will Trump do?
Just first calm down.
What will Trump do? Why do we
See,
sound like Trump has never been a president? He
okay,
was there before. What did he do?
okay. See,
I don't think so. If I may, because I've been very quiet and very respectful of everyone else speaking. Daddy Freeze, I greet you specially. Good to see you again.
good to see you, brother. How you doing?
You have a very funny way of making somebody very mad, but yet very happy with you at the same time. So, and this was from the last conversation with the lady that the governorship candidate lady and all that stuff. So, you
Which one
remember
was
what I'm
that?
talking about? Joyce.
Oh,
Yeah.
my sister Joyce.
Yeah. So a couple of things that was said that I just wanted to chime in on. I think everybody has, unless you don't have sense, but if you have sense and you have small money and you're looking for where to put it, you can either, based on your research, nobody can advise you on where or how to invest your money. In fact, I used to be one of those people that would say, Nigeria, never. I'm never investing in Nigeria. But a few years back, roughly about 4 or 5 years, I've actually been in an acquisition phase of my life where we're buying a lot of properties in Nigeria. Yeah. But the
I just blocked
one of the
somebody.
things
He said, run no, from DF advice. So what are you doing on my live? You are telling people to run from my advice. I don't rapture you now. Go they give people that advice for your
is
mama
in a
village.
rapture.
Olori Buruku.
Um,
Please, Jare, continue. I dey hear you.
So, and the reason for that is, like I said, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. For me, no matter how America takes me rich, I was not born here. My children are born here, but I have ties back home. I still want to go back home. I want to be a part of the solution back home, not necessarily just talking about the problems of Nigeria and so many other things like that. If God has blessed you well enough to say you want to invest here as well, not to say that there are no bad investments anywhere. I think the only problem that I have is, there is no, there are no guardrails or measures as it pertains to real estate in Nigeria. When you look at some properties, everybody's just throwing numbers out there. In America, there's an assessment of there's an assessment done to each property, so you can at least understand the market. What my neighbor sold for, there are so many factors. But when you look online and all of those properties that are listed, you hear 250 billion naira, 700 million naira, 600 million. Look at this house, and that's when you see people like Ola of Lagos and so many other people. But when you go there are no facilities to justify the prices of the house. Now, let's go back to land. When you said you bought a property for 1.8 million, and in however many years, it has now appreciated to 18 million, right? But unfortunately, because of the devaluation of the naira, that 18 million is not the same as 1.8 million back then. All things being equal, if naira was stable against the dollar, you do know that you will not be saying the same thing now, because
But Start, you're a businessman. Are you doing your
Start, I want to ask you a question. Why is Bitcoin 100? Sorry, brother. Wait, calm down. See, my IQ is 156. What I'm saying, none of you will see it. And I will remind you that I warned you. All of you playing around the comment section talking nonsense. You don't have any financial understanding. Leave it. My brother, what justifies Bitcoin selling at $100,000? I put it to you.
demand.
Finish.
Demand.
Finish.
Demand.
That is why houses in Nigeria are selling. Now you need to understand that right now, hold on, my brother. Whether you wait, sorry, before you finish.
I want to help you. Daddy Freeze, let me help you. You don't need to force Nigerians in diaspora to come to Nigeria to come and invest.
100,000. Nobody.
Wait, you don't need to make any justification to anybody that is of Nigerian born to come back home to come and invest. You want to know why? Because even foreigners are coming back to our country to come and buy our properties, buy our land, buy our buildings.
The way Chinese people are mopping up the properties, as in
the way Lebanese people are coming
fear go catch you. Somebody is saying Bitcoin is different. Please, how is Bitcoin different? How is Bitcoin different? What is the value? Bitcoin is selling at $100,000. What is it based? That $100,000 is based on what? That Bitcoin is backed up with gold. What is the real worth? What is the real worth of a Bitcoin? It's nothing. It is driven by supply.
Let me make this point. We cannot use Chinese people or Indian people as a bait for this argument. It boils down to the same thing I'm talking about. Investment. If I have a reason to be making $10,000 an hour in the middle of the Atlantic, I will go and build us in the middle of the Atlantic. Okay? So the Chinese people, how many items do you have in Nigerian market today that is not owned or made by Chinese people? The Chinese people.
Guess who we have in the house? Dr. Ned. Okonkwo. Hey. Now. This thing just sweet me now. The real people.
Go to Faculty of Social Sciences. Let's go back to social sciences.
You see, when they talk about property, they don't. I no go talk again. Now the gurus of property, now them be this. The people where if you divide Lagos into 4, they get 1/4 of them. Now them be this. Well, I don't even know. Say Dr. Ned, if he joined my life, he was my classmate from university. This is the Dr. Ned that did 10 birthday parties for his wife. This is him. So all your questions on real estate, he go answer all. I come out my hand officially. Now to sell Daddy Freeze online, Nayasabi. When it comes to property, I don't think there are 2 people in Nigeria more qualified to talk about it than this man you are seeing. I rest my case. Make I drink my beer.
And now Dr. Ned is loading.
Hey, Dr. Ned, why are you loading? What kind of problem is
I
this?
hope I'm right, but may God let his network fix you. I beg. I don't want him to go, because if this is the same person I'm thinking, he has a plan in Texas, in America. So I really would love to hear why he has such plan. Oh my goodness, what happened to him? If this
It's
is the same
called
Okonkwo that
diversifying
I'm
your
thinking,
portfolio. If he has one plan in Texas, Dr. Ned is my personal friend, though, and former classmate.
I hope he's whatever he's holding his network. I hope
Bye-bye.
again. All I'm saying is that at the end of the day,
Bye-bye. Let me tell you
all of the
something. Let me
investments.
just tell you something. See, when it comes to money for investment, if they gather our money here, it not reach waiting Dr. Ned they use buy one land. So these are the people that understand. You see, when it comes
we're
to
using people like him to use as a measuring ruler to come and invest in Nigeria. No.
Doctor, sorry,
You carry your small 200. You carry your small 200
I think
for America here. Go bury them for Nigeria. You'll be sorry.
you
If you
my
have
brother, you would
like
have been sorry if you invested 10 years ago. I'm not arguing with you. But my advice is buy the dip. That's what we learned in crypto. I have bought the dip before in crypto, and I understand how it works. This is the dip. Mr. Start, I hand over to you. I not get power.
please.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Welcome back.
It's been a while.
Like 2 weeks while.
You have very rich men in your live podcast. See, this my brother Pierre Pierre. See the other man with Pierre Pierre. Me and you will not get money. We not get.
We no get Pierre Pierre.
See the people where they maintain better behavior. Doctor, good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Daddy Freeze's live. We're talking. I hope you people will not misquote me. No, don't worry. No worry. We will not misquote you. We will not misquote you. Today we are talking about real estate investments in not just Nigeria but all over the world. From what I understand, you're a real estate guru. I'm not a guru. I'm the chief servant in a company. Chief executive officer of no servant. As a servant leader. Yeah, because when you're a servant, it's not easy for you to send someone, a grown-ass man like me, into the bush, who cut the grasses, water everywhere, bring concrete, bring all the inputs, bring iron, despite the very harsh economic conditions globally, not just Nigeria, transform it into a property, then call you and say, bring your money. The easiest thing you do, bring your money. When you bring your money, you send me back into another bush. That's what I've done for 24 to 25 years of my life. Amazing. So I'm the chief servant of people like you. Amazing. Well, if you are the chief servant, I am the assistant chief servant. Because let me use this opportunity to plug my company. I own two construction companies. One we do development and underground utilities, which is what we call pre-construction. And the second one we build. Yes, that's correct. The second one we build up, so vertical and horizontal. I'm a general contractor under David and Associates. What we build. Which city? I'm in Texas. I'm in San Antonio, Texas. Okay, right. I'll be in the US in May. Well, I'll be more than happy to host you in May. And thank you very much. I'll bring you to our offices so you can see them. But it's interesting that we're talking about this. So there's a notification that I just got. There's this lady called Benisha or something like that, and she does real estate financing. Okay. She does real estate financing. She used to do real estate financing in America, but now there are a lot more African Americans that are actually looking into buying properties in Africa. So now she's doing real estate financing in Africa. In fact, we need to link up. Yeah.
Come, I hope say una no say cut day for me inside all this link up where una they do sha.
Yeah, we need to do link up. Daddy freeze. You'll be in the room when things like this are being discussed. I listened to a little bit of the conversation that you guys were having, and that was what spurred me to send the request to Daddy Freeze that I want to be on the live. You know, typically I'm a little bit shy, but you know, I'll go straight to the point. Real estate all over the world is tough. And I'll tell you, real estate in Dubai, you may work. One day you declare bankruptcy and you walk away. Nobody will touch you. Real estate in America, you can do everything. You declare the company bankrupt and you walk away. Do you understand? But Nigeria, despite now those economies, you have interest rates at single digits, 4 to 6%, construction finance at 8 to 9%, and then somebody still declares bankruptcy. You are lying to go. Right? You can't even hold him on the street to say, you owe me money, I paid you for a house. If you drag him too much, they will take you to court for defamation. But in Nigeria, in Africa, no developer dares go towards it. You use EFCC to hunt his life. You use your uncle to hunt his life. All right? Now, let me go to the real issue. You're trying to compare Bitcoin. I've had this conversation and argument with some people. And my simple response to them is this. If you can show me an industry that employs 7,000 people, or small as it is, nearly 4,000 people like my company employs, 700 and something people directly, we pay salary. Then the artisans work on the side. If you can show me that industry that is powered by Bitcoin, that employs that number of people, you have won my argument. Because listen, if everybody decides to go and put their money in term deposit, your brother will not be employed. Your sister will not be employed. Do you ever think about that? Do you ever think about that dimension? That you are saying there is no employment. How do you create the employment? Federal government, there's a Dangote bond that went for 25%. Federal government of Nigeria bond 24%. I can put 10 billion naira in that bond and not need to work for the rest of my life. Right? Do a long-term bond and every year take away my 25%, divide 25% into 12 months. 2.5 billion naira. That means I'll be paying myself 210 million naira every month. Come off it. Do I need to work? But then if each and every one of us does that, what happens to the real sector? Can you show me the industry created by the cryptocurrency? We are here saying FX. Show me you do Bitcoin, but today you are talking that you do construction. How many people do you employ in your construction business? I want to wake up tomorrow and say that there's insecurity in Nigeria, that people are doing armed robbery, they are doing kidnapping. Who will give them the job? Let all of us go and do crypto. I had the opportunity of abandoning Nigeria. Then A Palmer's Avenue, Gravesend, Kent. That was where we stayed. We hustled, myself and my friend Antonio Onido. There was nothing I did not bring to Nigeria while I was in the UK. And so you wake up today and all of us feel Nigeria is the most terrible place to be. Nigeria. The story has always been like this. But out of it, the Aliko Dangotes are created. Today, you see the fintech billionaires that are out here in Nigeria. These are the guys from Covenant that saw the opportunity in the failure of the banking sector. Today, you can open your bank account. You're in America, you're in London, you're everywhere. You open it here in Nigeria. Those industries are not created out of nothing. Somebody has to take the initiative. Let me remind you, you think that real estate in Nigeria is expensive? What is the cost of financing in Nigeria? 38%. That's what the banks use to lend. If I decide to buy a mortgage property in Nigeria, right, the mortgage property will be done at 24 to 27%. Yes, that's what it is. And somebody will open their mouth and tell me that rent is high. How would a man move out? Let me, in simple analogy, describe for you. A man buys a property for 50 million naira, right? He buys that property for 50 million naira. He's paying interest at 27%. He drops 30% equity, 15 million naira. He's 35 million naira.
interest. In 5 years, the money has become 200% extra. So why won't the rent be expensive? I think I'll rest my I don't want to talk too much. I don't want to talk too much.
I have a couple of questions for you, Mr.
Please, I am ready.
So, all right, so let's use the 520 people on this live right now.
Yes,
okay?
Please.
If these 520 million people live in the U.S. and they make minimum wage,
okay.
If these 520 people live in the U.S. and they make minimum wage, minimum, the lowest that my 14 years old son is making, I promise you that a husband and wife among these 520, a couple among these 520, up to half of them, 250, will be able to afford a real estate in America. Now, going by the same thing you said, if these 520 people here all live in Nigeria, you just mentioned it that there is no job. Where is the job to pay all that money? If these 520 people that are on this live all live in America, I promise you that husband and wife among all of them, at least 250 will own a real estate, will own a property that they can stretch to pay in 30 years. But if these 520 people live in Nigeria, if you minus all those places that their names sound like food, Sango, Bomosho, and all those places, how many people here can buy properties in those places that you are mentioning, that you are saying lands are 50 million, lands are 80 million, lands are 100 million? How many people here can buy it, even with the help of the bank?
Thank you very much, sir. Before I go to answer your question, I asked you a question. Can you show me an industry that cryptocurrency has created? Right?
I wasn't the one supporting or mentioning cryptocurrencies.
Okay, what are you into, sir? What are you into, sir?
My argument.
You mentioned crypto before I joined.
No, Daddy Freeze was talking about buying crypto at 100,000, and my argument was that how many people can buy it today at 100,000?
You see, let me say something. Let me say something, brother. I was having a conversation with this same Dr. Ned the other day, and Dr. Ned told me that when we were in school, that his mom was living in a church, that his mom did not have a house. So this Dr. Ned that is a billionaire today was not born into billions. He found a loophole, he found a deficit in the Nigerian system, and because he is the only person that I know that sells middle class housing. Is either you are selling cheap housing or you are selling the mansions. He is the only person that caters to the middle class. Most people that I know that entered that middle class went bankrupt. So when you say that, how many people have the opportunity? I was born to a middle class family. He could rise. So there's still opportunity in this Nigeria, even though people...
I still want him to answer my question. 520 people. Let's put our argument to test.
Okay, so I'm going to answer you. I'm going to answer you, right? First and foremost, compare apples with apples, right?
Okay.
If you want to compare America, compare it with Canada.
Okay.
Nigeria is rated a third world country, a developing economy. So if they are rating us a developing economy, that means number one, our minimum wage in Nigeria is what? 70,000 naira.
All right.
What is the minimum wage in America?
You made my point, sir. Mr. Koko, you made my point.
Why would you compare Nigeria with America?
No, hold on. You just made my point.
Compare Nigeria with Ghana.
Mr. Koko, hold on. How many people in that Nigeria can come up with the same $300,000 US? How many? How many average people?
So $300,000.
Wait.
How many average people in America?
People in
America can come up with 300,000 with minimum wage.
How many people in America can come up with 300,000? In this life, 520 people. How many can half of them come up with $300,000 to buy a property?
Okay. The reason why I'm making my argument is because we called it investment. We labeled it investment.
Let us localize our conversation. Brother,
exactly.
Let us localize our conversation, right? The homes I sell in Nigeria, I have homes for as cheap as $40,000. My one-bedroom apartment, built to taste, is 50 million naira. And the rent you get on it is 4 million naira annually. So that means in 12 and a half years, you can finish paying for that property. My two-bedroom apartment is going for 68 million naira. I have some that go for as low as 62 million naira, depending on the location. They are in high demand. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So, if you localize our conversation, that means with $40,000, right? Somebody can own a property in Nigeria.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? $40,000.
Somebody is asking which area.
$40,000.
Forget the area.
No, let him answer which area.
Abraham Adesoya, Lagos Business School. I have this at 1.0, a fully solar powered estate. Right?
$1,000 is 64 million naira.
Absolutely, yes.
How many people here can afford 64 million naira for a one-bedroom in Nigeria?
No, it's not one bedroom, it's a two-bedroom. Okay. The one bedroom is 50 million naira.
You said $40,000 for the one bedroom.
No, I said $40,000 for the two bedroom.
Okay.
It's the promo there.
How many people that live in Nigeria can afford 64 million naira for two bedroom? Average people. I'm not talking about super rich people.
Hold on. It's like saying how many people in Nigeria can afford Rolls Royce Cullinan, and all the car shops have them.
Okay.
The moment you target the masses, you will not be able to sell that business. In Nigeria right now, 60 million naira house, 40 million naira house, 50 million naira house is very cheap.
Okay.
Very affordable.
I am not
let me take you
especially
let me take you to America, where you're operating, right? Or wherever you're operating, what part of the world. What is the cost of constructing a 4-bedroom house in America? Oga, you are a builder. Please give me a quote. Give me a quote. A building that is on 100 square meters. The building only, on 100 square meters. A flat in America. What's the cost of construction? Is it less than 40,000 or higher than 40,000?
It's way more than 40,000.
Take you to the school of real estate so you understand. You can't come and bamboozle us about Nigeria.
The cost of construction, first of all, the cost of construction in those two parts of the world, that's one. And then the type of materials used to build, that's two. And then labor is cheaper. However, to answer your question, you'll be looking at anywhere from 150 to 185.
Then I offer you a house in my third world Nigeria for $40,000, and then somebody comes on live to say how many of us can afford a $400,000 house.
It also depends on
I
think there's something that we're missing. There's something that we're missing. When we're talking about people being able to afford a 60 million naira home, and we're doing a comparison between people living in Nigeria and people living in America, and then the justification is based on minimum wage. First, let us look at what is the minimum wage. What is the minimum wage for certain people and the cost of living in America? Not many people. I know people that are making between $25 and $45 an hour that can't afford a mortgage. And I'm not even. It's just a reality of a lot of people, because one of the things you could say, and the question that I was going to pose to Dr. Ned is, your properties, do you do financing for your properties?
Okay, so I'm going to go to the finance side, right? We do financing, right?
Great.
I'll tell you what we have tried to do in this industry, because what we realize is, why do people fail? We try to study those that were before us. I was an agent to great men, and in my own very eyes, some of them fail. Now, how did some of them fail? Some of them will do the payment plan, pay 10% now. After 6 months, pay 10%. After 6 months, pay 10%. In the last 6 months, come and pay 70% and take your property. Now, inflation sitting at 38%, it has been rebased to 24%. Interest rate sitting at 38% construction finance. You realize that by the time you add both, year on year, you are looking at a 74% increase in your construction cost if you don't finish up the project on time. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So what we have done is to say, okay, we have tried to run a very efficient model. Number one, we do backward integration. We produce our own doors, our own wardrobes, furnitures. We produce our own paving stone, the highest quality standard in Nigeria. We produce we produce our own polystyrene. Polystyrene is a pre-construction material that enables you to build fast because it makes the building light structurally. So we produce it. I have a factory that does all of those. So we are able to do a 12 months to 18 months max instrumental payment plan. We are even doing plans that you pay 10% and stagger the remaining one over an 18 months period. Now, if you want to now do financing, 18 months. Wait a minute, I'm talking about the developer financing here. But if you now want to do financing, you can work with our mortgage bank. Today, I had a meeting with NMRC, Nigerian Mortgage Refinance Corporation, and the whole essence of it was how do they do the off-taker financing at a significantly reduced interest rate. Do you understand? Big ups to this present regime. For the first time, the present regime just put in place what you call MOFI money. They call it the Ministry of Finance Incorporated. A 150 billion naira finance to finance off-takers of real estate in Nigeria at 12%. For how many years? Doing that is CBN fund for 12%. They just started another one, family home fund. They just secured that is at 16%. About how many years? 12 years. 12 years. So those things are there, and that's why, we're at the forefront of saying things have been very bad in Nigeria. But hey, this government can pay attention. They even do as much as 20, 30 years. It's dependent on your age. I'm 47. Retirement age is 60 in Nigeria. So they cannot give me loan for more than 13 years. Do you understand? Hoping that they will increase retirement age because I don't know how we do in Nigeria. Mr. Okonkwo, you say you are 47. I'm 47. Okay. I don't look it.
Dr. Ned, let me ask you a question. I think the gap that I have when it comes to Nigerian real estate is the fact that there's no market, there's nobody really looking at the pricing, and everybody and their mama can just come up and say, this is how much I'm selling you. Like, how do you determine your pricing?
Okay, so I'm going to help you with that. Pricing is dependent on your cost of finance, right? Say, for instance, now I buy a property. There's a property that we are selling that the developer margin we have put in our template is less than 10%. Do you understand? But then there are also people who decide to go on price war with us. They will reduce that price. Let's say cost of today, like 3 years ago, the cost of building a terrace house in Nigeria was 70 million. Today, the cost of building that terrace in Nigeria is 43 million. You see that the price has gone to 50%. Cement price have moved from 6,800 to 9,500, heading towards 10,000 in Nigeria. COVID era, the cost of iron was 206,000 naira per ton. Today, iron is 1,160,000 naira per ton. So you can imagine that increase. So the construction industry will also feel it. Please don't mind those who come and tell you the price of houses in Nigeria. Hold on, sir. Please, bear with me. I follow a guy that they call Ramsey Ray Nosrati, the guy that built the Brentwood Oasis in the Palisade there in California. He had more than 25 houses that went under fire. Check the price of his houses, $45 million. Tell me which house, one house, that can go for $45 million in Nigeria. And somebody tells you the price of houses in Nigeria is expensive. Do you understand? If you go to Dubai, What is the price of a 2-bedroom flat in Dubai? If you want to compare Nigeria, compare us with Ghana. Compare us with Senegal. I had the privilege of going to Senegal. They want me to come and do real estate in Senegal. They showed me a plot of land next to the hotel where I stayed. $5 million for 1,000 square meters of land. $5 million US dollars. You see, it's easy for us to throw stones at Nigerian developers with what we suffer in Nigeria. You suffer huge interest rates. Before you can take financing, they'll tell you to bring your mother, bring your father. The construction industry in Nigeria has suffered a debt of real professionals because the professionals we train, they do Japan, they go to Canada, they go to London, go and secure better job. We don't blame them. But then, who is going to solve the construction and the housing problem in Nigeria? If all of us... Mr. Koko, you are telling us all the madness going there, the challenges, the lack of money, the lack of jobs, the high interest rate, the stress you do in finding properties and building property, how material has doubled in prices, and at the same time, you are telling us that there is profit in it, that it's a good investment. It's a good investment. No, I'll tell you. Let me also tell you. Let us go straight to financing. Now, I will ask you a question. I wanted to ask you a question. When you ask, I'll answer you and ask you another one. You mentioned something about building a terrace. How many bedrooms are you guys' terrace in Nigeria comprises of? Terraces all over the world, they differ in their they differ. There are some terraces in Nigeria that are 3 bedrooms. The one that you said is 45 or 47 million. Those ones. Construction cost 43 million naira. Good. 3 million. Okay. Yes. I can tell you that is just market strategy. Because I said so because your decking alone will cost you 20 million easily. You see the problem. A man who is not a farmer, you see, when you are a quack person at an industry, you can say what you are saying. Construction person, Oga. Construction person. You never build house before. You never build house, Abi. Me, I build house. I build a house every day of my life. I am building 1,400 units in Nigeria now.
The cost of building one house.
You see, hold on. I also had a problem with that, my brother up. He speaks of his personal experience. Now, when you speak of your personal experience, it becomes subjective. You are no longer objective, you are now subjective. When it comes to, no, you see, when you build terrace houses, when you do decking for 5 at the same time. Now, one roof, now they cover 5 terrace. Now, one foundation, now they carry 5 terrace. Now, one decking, now they carry 5 terrace. I mean, Dr. Ned, maybe I'm the one getting it wrong. So when you build one house, and you say the decking is 20 million, you are not wrong. But you see, when you build, he produces his own blocks. He produces his own tiles. He produces his own what you call it, Dr. Ned?
Almost producing his own cement.
He produces everything. You cannot match his cost. It's like me that my wife has an industrial kitchen, a culinary academy. I can never see what I'm eating, and now they still make a snack. They give me 2 homemade sausages. Baba, if you go buy this thing for market, you go spend 10K. Meanwhile, for me, now just waiting they cook for academy remain, or waiting my wife just do put for fridge. So if me, I'm saying, this is what I eat. If you try to eat this, you will go bankrupt.
Again, at the end of the day, let me make this point and walk away. I will leave so that you won't look like I'm the bearer of bad news. I'm not this bearer of bad news. No, please, do not. I don't want to. Do not leave yet. I don't want you to leave. Mr. Koko, hold on. I don't want to, like Daddy Freeze just said now, Daddy Freeze believe that I'm speaking out of my own personal experience. It is not just my personal experience, okay? It is the experience of hundreds, if not thousands of people, okay? All I'm saying is at the end of the day, the key word here is investment, okay? If you have a better option of investing your money somewhere else, especially if you live in America. If you live in Nigeria, like I said before, if I build a property in Nigeria and I need the income or the revenue from that property to be taking care of family, to be taking care of parents in Nigeria, it's not going to bother me. If I collect 2 million, I spend 2 million in Nigeria. I collect 20 million, I spend 20 million in Nigeria. But if I count 300,000 US dollars here and call it the keyword, again, investment. That is, remember, there was a day you posted a video about somebody talking about building mansion in Igbo land. I am one of the proud people that build my own for rats and cockroaches. They are my tenants.
It's not an investment.
It is not.
It's not an investment.
Okay, I don't.
It's an emotional buy.
I don't like when people try to label the properties that Igbo people, because if 200 or 300 Igbo people listen to that advice of do not build, and 200 of our fathers listen to the same advice, and 200 of our grandfathers listen to that same advice, where will we be living? We'll be hanging on the trees like monkeys.
Sorry. Okay? Let me correct you. It is not peculiar to the Southeasterners, right? I have friends in Lagos that are from Ibadan. Hold on, sir. I have friends that are in Lagos that are freeze. You and I, they are from Ibadan. That is freeze, you are from Ibadan now. Don't you have a house in Ibadan?
Abi? Mansion, sir. Mansion.
Mansion, better one. Better than the one
12
in Lagos.
bedroom.
It's not peculiar. But before you leave, I don't want you to leave. Hold on, sir. Hold on, sir. No, don't leave. I want to say something. There is something I need to say, very fundamental. And I want us to go to numbers because we call it investment. And I'll ask a question. I'll ask both of you a question, right? Brought my brother down, on the same level. Two of them, they up. And they for upstairs. We did downstairs. Two of us, when we did downstairs. We went to construction. A property of $200,000 no. What's the average price of properties that you sell in America?
That I sell.
Do you sell?
I don't sell.
Okay. The ones that you have built for people, let's say a $300,000 property. What's the rental value on that property?
Depending on the location, so many other factors come to play.
Location is the first property attribute. So location. Yeah. How much is a $300,000? If you buy a $300,000,
I mean, averagely, you're looking at about, I don't know, anywhere from 12 to 1,500, maybe 1,700.
12. I'll take 1,200 minimum, right? 1,200 times 12. That means the average you get 14,400 for a $300,000 property. Is that correct, sir? Is that correct, sir?
That's correct.
Somebody said 1,000 to 1,500. So we have taken the average, 14,400 a year. A $300,000 property. If we are going to divide that $300,000 property. We'll divide
Don't forget to mention the income of the people paying that.
Brother, we are a third world country. Just be patient. Even in that America where I did, some people no fear afford property. You can't change it.
Not some people, most people.
Good. So 14,400. So $300,000 divided by 14,400. It will take you 20.8. Technically 20 years to repay that property. Right? Now, a property of 50 million naira in Nigeria, the rent is between 3.5 to 3.8 million naira. So let me take 3.5 million, right? A 50 million property going for 3.5 million naira, 50 divided by 3.5. It will take you 14 years, 14.2. Okay? 14 years to pay. Yet you are happy to go and take the one that will take you 20 years to pay. My brother, there is an accommodation problem in Nigeria. There's an accommodation problem in Lagos. Lagos is a city of over 28 million people. The reason why I don't build in any part, I am building in Anambra, is out of emotions that my people are saying, come and help join forces to develop Anambra. I am building in Delta. I did a project in Abuja
I did not enjoy it. And I pulled out because Abuja is majorly driven by government finance.
Hmm.
Do you understand? Abuja is driven by government funding. When government is rich, they are spending money. Abuja people have a lot of money to spend. When government is wasteful, they have money to spend. When government is prudent, they don't have money. Their real estate does not boom. But Lagos is driven by private sector initiatives. The efforts of government. As government started doing the road that goes to Ekpe, and the road began to clear, properties towards that side began to double in value. What we try to do, most developers in Nigeria, is to look for where government is going. Will the new coastal road pass your area?
Dr. Ken, I was just, Dr. Ken, I know you have a property across the road here that me and you were talking about the other day.
Yes.
From my house to the coastal road is a 3-minute walk.
And there will be a green line train station there.
Baba.
See, give it to Ifetayo. Give it to this government to. They demolished my fence. But I'm happy they demolished my fence. You know why? They expanded the road and put a train line in the middle that will take you from CMS to Ekpe in less than 10 minutes.
Brother, don't go. I want to say something. Before Dr. Ned came, sorry, Mr. Start, hold on. Before Dr. Ned came, what did I say about that coastal road?
First, let me reply you. You see the same coastal road where it's a walk from your house.
Yes.
And the same coastal road where Mr. Okonkwo has a house behind. Me, I will not touch that on a street with a pole. Because the Nigerian I know can bulldoze everything along that road because of one year railway structure. Before you guys build your houses here, were there any kind of city plan or map that told you? Yes, there was. Over 20 years, over 50 years ago. That is where you are aware that road will pass. Yes.
Hold on. You see, when somebody has, hold on, my dear brother. Me and Dr. Ken were still talking about something the other day. One of my friends, government seized this land. I'm talking about $10 million worth of land. I'm not going to mention his name. We found out that it was because of how he got the land. He did not get the land directly. He got it from people who subletted it. So, you sabi speak Yoruba? Now so Dr. Ken to be Igbo, he didn't to speak Yoruba. No, mo Igbo ni.
Igbo no BSc. Omo Ekoni eni. Àwọn talago méjì lele. Alago méjì, thumbs up, alago méjì. Because I grew up in the north, so I speak all languages.
Omo, you are blessed. Now you don't know what you did. So sorry to bring you back home, eh? When you buy land and they demolish your land, just know that from the day you were buying that land, somebody don't tell you, say, this land na gambulo. If it go, true. If it no go. But most people will not admit.
They are betting. Some people do real estate
like betting, like bet Niger.
I don't do high risk. Let me explain. There was something that you said that is pertinent. Do we have a developmental master plan in Nigeria? I am 100% certain of Lagos. Lagos has a very robust developmental master plan. Lagos. But the master plan is the president or the governor of the state. No. Not true. I had a senator friend and we're talking. She told me that my senator friend said there is in the 20-year plan of Nigeria that the coastal road, they don't think they have funding to do it. But we came and we made a talk and do government took over. And the man said that he wants the coastal road to be part of what his regime will remain bad for. Right? And he took the coastal road. They called a stakeholder engagement forum. I have always seen there was a land that was supposed, when I built that estate, Victoria Bay 3, the survey plan was showing 30,000 square meters. When I went to Lagos State to get my building plan approval, they said I can only build on 21,000. That because coastal road takes out 9,000 square meter. So I took 9,000 square meter and I built. After building, when we came back there, they said they needed to expand the road to redesign and put a train in the middle. They said they would.
Hey, network.
Sorry, I'm back.
Uh-huh.
They said they will try to make it in such a way that we don't suffer. They said they will try to make it in such a way that we don't suffer so much. So based on that, they came and looked at our fence. They said we have all the documents. We have all the approvals. All right? But what they will do for us is we will shift our fence by about 1.something meters. And because there are setback rules, and we had followed that setback rule, they moved our fence. It did not affect our property. Right? They are going to have a train station there. It is in overriding public interest.
Dr. Ned.
I made bold to say,
Dr. Ned, you are hanging. So they can't see you. Just end and come back.
oh, èmi máa fi yín lẹ̀, mo ń lọ sùn.
Tí lọ, Ajoma lọ sùn ni. But let's just have 10 more minutes.
Okay.
He's coming back. You see, let me tell you something, yeah. One thing I love Dr. Ned for. I've known Dr. Ned for 30 years. Dr. Ned is part, as if Dr. Ned they talk about the property development, you're gonna talk and like say one fight. He loves real estate. And before Dr. Ned even joined us today, you know what they talk? I don't see people they beg me, say, Baba, should they sell house for your estate? Should they sell? You can't get house to rent. Forget buy. You can't get house to rent in my estate just because they are building that coastal road. You see, I might not understand real estate to the point where I'm an investor in it. But I understand Bitcoin. And if there's anything that made me money from Bitcoin, was buying the dip. The lower it goes, the more it's an advantage to buy. This is the time to buy. All those people that say, they lost money. Yes, they lost money because they bought the high.
High risk. They buy high risk. Real estate, there are two types of real estate, right? There's the high risk one, that's like betting. That they'll tell you that if you put that, when you want to put your money, put it like as if you are putting MMM. Not that you may lose it, you may get. There's the one de-risked. When it is de-risked, that kind of investment. When it is de-risked, it is bankable. 90% of Nigerians do the high risk because they want quick return. When somebody who has not built a house in their entire life tells you, I'm building a city, come and give me your money. When you give that person their money, you are going to lose your money. Because the man who has never built anything, telling you they will build a city, they will come with price as an entry strategy. When Dr. Ned is selling a house that he built with 43 million naira for 68 million, the man will come and tell them, I'll give you 35 million naira. Buy one, get two free. And then you go and give them your money. MMM. Why won't you lose the money? But it doesn't define us. We have developers that are credible. This is my summit I'm doing, 10 city store. I'm going with credible, certified developers. I'm going with developers that I'll say, if anything happens to your money, come, I'll give you the money back. I certified and accredited them. I wrote to Lagos State Regulatory Authority. If you have any petition against any of these developers, tell me, I'll drop them. There are some they told us, this one, don't go. And we remove our hand. It is the same way in America. It is the same way in London. I have people who bought properties from First Group in Dubai. They lost it. Wow. When you call something an investment, see, I have a family friend who decided to go and invest in American real estate. The contractor she went to hire was a Mexican person. They are looking for drug. And at the time she paid the contractor, money-time contractor money, by the time when America they trade, they catch the person they jail. Contractor, where you give money to do construction, don't go jail. Well, how you go take care of your money? They said that to 20 years.
Tell that your friend to call me.
They need to call people like you. Credible people. So it's there everywhere. My brother, I want to tell you this. I take this from our president. You don't throw away the baby with the bad water. Daddy Freeze, I'm in Anambra State today. I tell my village people, I am the government they see. If government is not doing anything, tell me what needs to be done, I'll do it. Let it be the charity, the CSR, and I do. I do at least 1 kilometer of road every year.
Where in Anambra?
I am from Ojoto, proudly Ojoto. I'm the one that does Ojoto Festival. I'm from a 10-minute south. We have invested, I have invested my company heavily in security. We have a hotel in Ojoto. We are building a sports center in Ojoto. We have a sport, I am the one building it. It will have gym, he has AstroTurf, he has a squash court, indoor hall where you can play table tennis. I am rebuilding the primary health care center. I would have opened it 22nd of April. I started it January 1. I went to the hospital, 80-year-old hospital, primary health center in Ojoto. I cried when I saw the maternity ward that delivered 27 people. I cannot use my hand after opening the door without sanitizing it, so they will bring out the child there. I decided to go and build them a PHC. I did the foundation 5th of January. Last year, I rebuilt a new wing, modernized it, put solar, put lab equipment. Do you understand? We need to come back home and do something. I have boys from Anambra that are fintech people. I told them, Korape, Piggyvest, Widat, guys, let's go and do a fintech, a fintech event in Anambra State. Let us go and groom the new next generation of fintech billionaires. Do you understand? We are building something big in Lagos. We are building something, it will be announced soon. Do you understand? But let me tell you, we need to come back home. Invest in the healthcare sector. Invest in the agricultural sector. Invest in real estate. Invest in entertainment. Invest in media. Daddy Freeze, now in Boma will call for UI. It was Daddy Freeze, leave us, go join him, go Romania, I'll be where. We will go there here in Nigeria. Who will be the voice of the masses that he has become?
Dr. Ned, everybody likes saying, come back home, come back home, come back home. But you know the people that have been here, for somebody like myself, I've been in America close to 20 years. I want to come back home, not because anybody saying come back home. But the first question, I'm able to do that. All glory to God. But average Nigerian that has been overseas for so long is now a professional. And people are saying, come back home. The president who said, we need all our Nigerians to come back home. What are they coming back home to? That's the first question. Question number 2, you made an analogy of the average cost of home ownership in Nigeria versus America.
Yes.
But in that scenario, you did not factor the Naira dollar depreciation. Right? Oh yeah, Everest. I know you'll be very happy.
I can tell you about that.
You'll be very happy right now.
That's all I've been saying.
I can tell you about that.
I know. Because you talked about it will only take 14 years, mortgage-wise, making the same payments will take 14 years. That is all assumption, all things being equal, that everything stays the same. But in the event where things are not staying the same,
I'm going to answer that question. I'll answer that question.
Let me add to what you said.
No, let me answer his question. Don't create confusion, please, my brother. I'm
going to say the same. The same thing you said.
Oh, yeah, say what? No, I don't want to be confused. I want focus. I'll answer your... No, it may delay my thought. I want to answer that, please, sir.
Okay,
Pastor, Emma Binusiwa. Daddy Freeze, you are the moderator. Check his
Sorrow.
Okay. Jory, let me explain this to you. You see what you have described now? In the UK, the price of properties doubles in 7 years. It's a circle because their inflation is lower. In America, I don't know how many years it takes for the price of property to double. Maybe about 8 or 10 years. Good. In Nigeria, right? The price of property doubles in nearly 3 years. The reason is that the interest rate you are paying is high. Inflation is high. So when you come and, for instance now, let me describe it.
Does income double in 3 years?
Let me describe it for you. My brother, that is why entrepreneurship is the way to go in Nigeria.
Absolutely.
It's easy to start a business in Nigeria than any other part of the world. It's very easy. So let me take it there. I have a property in Banana Island. I bought that property in 2020, COVID. Now, that property, as at 2020 COVID, was 600,000 per square meter, 600 million. Today, in 2025, that property is 3.5 billion. A plot of land in Banana Island is now 3.6 million per square meter. Now, the exchange rate to a dollar back then was about 385, right? So that means I would have invested about $1.4 million to buy that property. Today, that property is worth $2.2 million. The reason being, the price, the demand, Banana Island land, they are no longer producing it again. It is finished. Land is a finite resource. So because inflation is going high, demand is going high. Let me also take you to another property that I bought in COVID that we were selling post-COVID for 20,000 naira per square meter. 12 million naira a plot of land. 12 million. It is Capital Gardens Estate on the Lekki Express Road. You can Google it anywhere. I have clients abroad who bought those property for 12 million naira. They buy 2. As at that time, dollar was less than 400 naira, right? And they bought 2 at 12 million, 24 million. That means they bought with $30,000, right? Today, that property is valued at 210,000 per square meter. What they bought that time is now 121 million. It is now 241 million for 2 plots. Now, we have lost value with naira to dollar devaluation. So let me now take it back. That dollar that was $60,000 that time, that property is now 240 divided by 1.5. That property is now $150,000. Why do I give you this simple analogy? Who are you following in the real estate industry? Are you following the man who says he's an expert? It's like seeing a babalawo who tells you, follow me. You did not look at his shoe. You did not look at his wristwatch. I'll make you a billionaire. Then afterwards, the man, you finish, you give him your money. You came back, the man has used your money to go and buy a Toyota Corolla. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So, follow who know road. Daddy Freeze, tell them, follow who know road. So, I will not talk too much. I want to take your questions, sir.
All right, to all the people saying, come home, come home, come home, I'm going to give you the answer that I always give my cousins them when they tell me.
No, ask me your question. Before you answer them, ask me your question. I'm waiting for your question, sir.
I don't have a problem coming home, okay? But you cannot be in Lagos or Abuja or Kano and be telling me to come home. That place is still not our home. If you want me to come home, I will come home and both of us will go and stay in Anambra. Then we know we are home.
Oga, in America where you are living, people check where they have guarantee of employment. No, wait. People cannot just wake up and relocate from New York to Delaware.
That is what I'm saying. So when people
in America where you are in, you can't just wake up and relocate. People want to stay where they can make money, where they can earn money.
You're making my point. You're making my point. This is where I live. This is where my business is. And you're telling me to come home just because in your mind you believe it's not our land.
We are not saying you should come home. not saying you should come home. We are saying that, for me, I am not saying you should come home. But I'm saying that if you can't come home,
invest.
The problems you left Nigeria with that got you angry and you left. They say when there is wait. When there is problem, there's an opportunity. That's what we're taught in business schools all over the world. When there's crisis, there is value to be created. For those who can solve some of those problems, they make some money. But I'm not saying come and do it with all your feet. They say if you are scared of the water, put one leg first. Put one leg first. I am not saying come home. I am saying, can we task your brain? Work for your community think tank to improve your community.
Let me
your community. Your community in Anambra.
To come home. Many of
your community in Anambra.
Doctor, you said you have a lot of estates. I think you mentioned Sophia Estates too. Are you still selling?
No.
There's no more land in Sophia Estate.
Capital Garden. I know that I don't have Sophia. Not like Sophia.
Capital Garden. Okay.
Capital Gardens, Capital Loft, Citadel Views, Victoria Nest, the Nest Lekki Foreshore, Estate Yapao. I even have a VCH in Anambra. And let me tell you one of the reasons that is slowing us down, right? Lagos has gotten that land title right. Some of the states are still lagging behind. I will not mention states. There are some states that titling is an issue. And I don't do land that is not bankable. I can do land that when you decide that you want to take a mortgage, the bank can finance it. And like I said when I started, can we start being the government we would love Nigeria to have? Can we start from being that leader we want our leaders to be? If the road to your area is not good, instead of buying a jeep, like government officials to do, go and contribute money, bring people together to go and tar the road or pave the road or make it more travel. If the healthcare sector is not doing well, no, please. Be the government. Let people tell you the smallest. If your neighbor is hungry, go and share rice. Call your neighbor's son, give them free lesson. Call your cousin, get them a job. Build a farm.
Mr. Ned is saying is normal. Nigeria is the only place where we expect God to do what the government will do. Nigeria is the only place where we expect the citizens to do what the government will do. So he's saying it the way it is.
How many people pay tax in Nigeria? Less than 20% of Nigerians pay tax. In America, skip tax 1 month. IRS will come and carry you. So let us be factual.
One of the people that own the highest real estate in America is Donald Trump. About 4 years ago, he only paid $675 in tax. Is that correct, Mr. Stacks?
I don't know. I'm not sure then.
Well, Donald Trump. I don't want to discuss Donald Trump. I want to discuss you. Tell me your own example. How much tax did you pay 4 years ago? Let's not discuss Donald. Let's personalize it.
You know what? I love your energy. I love your passion, and I love the things you are saying. One of the things. Wait, let me make a point. I want to make a point. One of the things that you have been adamant about is if your neighbor is not doing well, do well for them. If your neighbor is not eating, give them food. I am your neighbor. I don't have a land in Anambra. Give me land.
I'll give you land.
Absolutely.
Enter my GM. I will give you land. See, guys, I want to plead. Daddy Freeze, I beg, help me beg people. Make them go register. I have a link in my bio. They should register for the Invest in Africa Summit. See, we're not saying come and give us money, right? Let us learn from one another. I want to build a community that can transform Nigeria. I am passionate. I'm not a politician. I hate politics. But I am passionate about seeing Nigeria work. And I will continue to lead by example. I have boys that I mentor that are multi-billionaires. I have boys in the fintech space. See, in my real estate sector, if you don't do the right thing, I cut you off because I want to guide you. I don't want you to come and buy real estate and get cow and chicken. It is not done Please enter my DM. I'll chat you. I am one of those CEOs that pick straight numbers. I pick straight numbers. I'll drop my number here. You be businessman now. Why you no go pick number? I be marketer now. Of course.
When somebody joined the live video and he said, I am your servant, or I am the chief executive servant, what do you expect?
You see, let me tell you something. I said this when you were off the live, Dr. Ned. Dr. Ned is one of the most passionate people I know.
I don't drop my number on the live Instagram.
Dr. Ned is one of the most passionate people I know about real estate. Dr. Ned will be flying in the air. He'll be designing the next project he wants to do. Sometimes me, I go to watch movie, Dr. Ned go just send me message, say, see the next project I want to do. I go look and say, this Dr. Ned no dey sleep. He lives, he breathes real estate. And if you ask me, the best time to invest in Nigeria is now. 1 year from now, I will not tell you that again, because the dip is no longer a dip. It has now started to rise. If you have any spare change, buy one small, all those 40 million naira house. Just buy one, keep. Forget about them. If you get that kind $200,000, all that Ikate, Freedom Way, prime real estate investment. But like I said, I'm not the expert. You people in America don't believe in Nigeria anymore. You believe that, Nigeria, you waste your money. Yes, if you bought 10 years ago, you probably waste your money. But if you bought 1 year ago, if you bought now, this is the time. This government, I will not say they are doing an amazing job, but I will say they are doing a great job putting back an economy, as in they are using thread to stitch back an economy that has fallen apart. And if they get it right, Nigeria will become the heaven it once was. I no talk past like that. Over to you, Dr. Ned.
No wahala.
I think Dr. Ned is frozen.
Dr. Ned don't hook again.
But DF, you said Nigeria will soon become the heaven it once was.
When was that? That's your question.
In the early 2000s, 2001, Nigeria was a heaven.
Daddy Freeze, let me agree with you a little bit. Sometime in
he reach make you agree with me. You don't they disagree with me the whole day.
No. I remember like processing my American visa process. I was sending mail to the US with night post. I was making phone calls at Nitel. In fact, when I came to the US, it was Nigerian Airways that brought me here. All these things are past tense now. In fact, I can even show you letters that my father was sending to me. Yeah, I can show you letters with Nigerian, like you know those envelope where they get red and white, and all those khaki envelope. So I don't even know when we will get back to the era you are describing. Okay, but hey, fingers crossed. Over a long hour.
Dr. Ned don't give you small hope.
I think the biggest thing, you know, and I like what Dr. Ned said, which is one, there's an opportunity for you to, you know, to do something for yourself. And then it looks like the conversation really doesn't end here. You know, there's apparently a link in his bio for a program that is coming up, which, you know, he's back. I think.
Dr. Ned.
See, this was the Nigeria that I remember. when my dad will send me mail in this kind of thing. Would this even happen again in Nigeria?
Yes, sir.
Baba, we are going back there.
Okay.
We are going to a much better place. But yeah, so for the benefits of those that are in wherever you are in the world, I am not a financial advisor or an expert in anything, but I will say that if you have been paying attention to all the things that is happening in Nigeria, one of which is look at Dangote refineries and the cost of fuel going down, the dollar is stable, the real estate market experiencing the growth potential. I think if you would want to consider the opportunity, I won't advise against it. You're not buying properties from me or Daddy Freeze. I don't know. Maybe Daddy Freeze is selling properties. But me, personally, I am actually investing in Nigeria. I am buying properties in Nigeria. I believe in Nigeria, and I'll go back to Nigeria someday, not today.
I met people here in 2000 that said the same thing. 25 years later, what you want? So let me know when you are leaving. I go wave you bye-bye.
What is making... See, my thing is this. People are staying in Nigeria and they are billionaires. Look at Daddy Freeze now. Daddy Freeze lives in Nigeria. He drives a sports car. My man's got a Rolex. Watches. He's got...
Baba, I know be billionaire. Yeah, Dr. Ned.
He rolls with billionaires. He flies on private jets. He drives Lambo.
Investment we are talking about. Some people are even selling them tomorrow morning, Tuesday, to enter plane to come Canada.
And some people are still selling what they have in America to come and see. Last week, I had 6 people, different people, who flew in from America to come and buy properties in Nigeria. And I would have shared, this morning, I will share what one of them sent to my page. I'm going to share it so that people can see. See, let me tell you, the same way people are selling in America is the same way people are selling in Nigeria to go forward. I was listening to Dele Momodu somewhere where he said, if you have 30 million naira in your account, Japa is not for you. The Nigeria of our dreams can be built by people like you and I. See, let me tell you, I don't want my son to become a slave. There's no part of the world I cannot afford to live in. But I don't want my son to become a slave somewhere. Whether you like it or not, racism is real. You all follow. Now only if further of it pass, yes. Make I tell you, you see these glasses? I quarreled with my optician in London. And I'll tell you why. I will go there, do eye test, they'll give me glasses. See, I have been using them for the past 6 years. Now I go there one day. I lost my glasses, and this particular one, it's Cartier. It cost me nearly about £3,000 to get it eyeglass. Now I lose them. Now I sent the message, call them, say I lose my glass. Then simply I come in. I came in. I flew into London to spend a few hours and leave. I told you, make I do and maybe I collect my glass again. As I do the test finish, I then check, then see my name, everything. The optician himself no day around. I can't bring out my card to flash. But because I use my US card, they are pinless. Now I flash them. As I give them card, the thing just go pull. Now I say, no, we cannot take it. I say, how? He said, it's one without pin. I'll not take it. No, never. I said, me. How can you say, I have patronized you for how long? I said, is it because another white man come use your own in there, they no talk. Now I look finish. Now I say, that money went on our account. You must refund me.
Now they called the man we get the company. Said, there's that man, that black man. The man said, no, we know him. And I tell the man, say, now Moroccan girl do me this thing. British Moroccan girl. When know me well. I say, on top of glass. Now they say, company where I patronize for the past 6 years, because my card go pinless. I nearly cried. I said I will not take it, refund my money. So when I left, they called my best friend. Because I know two of us, they go do our classes together. They called him in Nigeria. He said, okay, wait here. They don't call. They don't send me email. They beg me, make I beg you. That they're about to lose a good customer. Now narrate waiting they do me. They say, now this our color. Now this our color. Or what am I saying? We can build the Nigeria of our dreams. 20 years ago, before I can own a Zenith Bank account, I must be a multi-millionaire. Before I can own a GT Bank account, when we came out, now only First Bank students they use for University of Ibadan. You feel like I lie?
All right.
Today, students can have GT Bank account. Students can have Zenith Bank account. Nigeria is changing. Today, you can open an account with your phones. Today, a lot of things. Today, we can do Uber. When we come London, now that small device, they do Google Map for London. They look like, say, when it go start for Nigeria, today, you can use Google Map to drive. Why don't I do my glasses in Nigeria? I have a business in London, and I have a house very close to that place in London. And you know, when you have started using somewhere for a long time, when you get used to them, you just feel that is what it is. So, what am I saying? Nigeria is changing for the better. And it is not ghosts that will do it. It's not monkeys and donkeys that will do it. It is human beings. And I plead with everybody, do not write off Nigeria. There was a time they did something in this country, and politically they twisted me, and I got so angry. And I was angry, I was furious. I said I was packing my things I was leaving. When I stayed in London for about 4 months. And when I sat down there, God kept talking to me that this is not the calling that I give you. I prefer to go to a party in Orchard Road than to go to Ikoyi Club. You know why? That is the market, the space where I play. I am lost there. When we started our real estate journey, I said we want to make aspirational living affordable. Today we have changed it to accessible. We were the first developer to go to Orchard Road and put gym in the houses, put swimming pool in the houses, put astroturf in the houses. Gradually, people in Orchard Road will say they don't need to go and register in the Ikoyi Club. They now play squash, table tennis, lawn tennis. Do you understand? We can build that Nigeria. If you see my Citadel views, I have seen people in Citadel views writing here that they love Citadel views. Citadel views is solar power. The people there at their own EKGC, they are the ones that regulate, they determine what the price of power is. People come from abroad and live there. Today, we are about to start co-manufacturing of electric vehicles in Nigeria. We have our own EVs. We have our own solar systems. We bring in. We don't manufacture tile. But I have a friend who is about to build one of the biggest tile factory in Nigeria. I'll just keep his name. But then we patronize them.
They are Nigerian tiles now.
Yes. So the Nigeria of our dreams will not be built by foreigners. It will not be built by the handouts we collect. That Nigeria of our dreams. See, my PM, Oyelola Saliu, came from London to come and work for us. That pure London girl. She runs my site like a machine. We call her the king of boys. Very Idonije. We call her the queen of conferences. She's an executive director. She's schooled masters in Spain. My wife, the CEO of Lagos, come off it. CEO, you know how many schools where she go? She's 10 times more intelligent than me. CEO, she writes for Business Day, the real estate column. Ifedayo, I'm proud of that woman. She's as fortunate about Nigeria.
No wonder you do 10 birthday party for her.
Omo, she has never done a party all her life. Her father and mother, they are God's Kingdom Society and Jehovah Witness. They don't celebrate parties. Her father is 81, he did not come for her birthday. He's alive. And Kiki, very well, strong man. But he said it's against his religion. So that my smallie, they never do party for her before. So she told me, I want to be your little girl.
Hey!
Be your daughter for this party. And he said, I think I tried.
Ah, Baba. Ha.
You know the
Ha.
lover boy too.
Ha. Baba, I reached there. I reached there.
Look how far we've come, my baby. When I sing, if I this, I should say, this boss tell her, say, if you will sing for me tomorrow.
Ah.
Don't mind me, now only me if you call that if it's
Ah. As in, we gentle. I don't go many party for my life. I go one where I gentle, I calm. I say, hey, forget the money where they spend. They spent a currency called love.
Yes, he does.
Oh, there was a currency called love. This man brought it out in the billions.
Yeah.
Money is another currency. Love. Ah, that woman felt loved.
This is one of the best Instagram lives I've ever been on. I've been media shy lately because from 2021, 121, I handed over the call of the locals house into my wife. So I only do back end. So I don't do interviews. I don't talk so much. You know, once in a while I'll do one. The reason is this. You cannot be sharing stage with your organ. The moment you have step down. Allow her to enjoy it doesn't have to know, I'm not going to do this stuff. Allow her to enjoy the limelight. You understand? So,
but just know, say this our life, they catch fire. And people will enter your DM. Because I can already see some people who want to invest.
At the back and clap for her. I want to sit at the back and cheer her on. And she's doing an amazing job. Right? We have a ride-hailing business that will soon flag off EV Nigeria, EV Automobile, you know. We're going to start our own tricycle coupling, electric vehicle tricycle. All my boys, they are doing well. Don't forget. I'm not saying you should leave Nigeria or you should leave America. I am saying, let us give Nigeria a chance. If you cannot come to Nigeria, say a word of prayer for Nigeria. If Nigeria goes bad, you have cousins that will be crying and begging you that I'm dying. Say a word of, in this era of fasting, say a word of prayer for Nigeria. Nigeria can be better. My father died 1993, 4th of April. I was a 15-year-old boy. I listened to the advert Andrew no checkouts. Nigeria go better. You guys are our Andrews that have checked out. We are saying, do not write off Nigeria. One day, pray for Nigeria. I'll see you at the other side. You owe me a bottle of drink. You owe me a bottle of drink. When you come to the US. Desmond owes me a plate of agbanku.
Ah, no problem. Taste buds is ever so willing.
For this real estate lecture, before I go off, I am proud to say that the hospital we are building in Ojoto, it is still a government hospital. But today, let me tell you, when I went there, the PAT, what they were paying to the people working in the hospital, total salary as of January was 60,000 naira. 10,000 nursing assistants. I now pay them 300,000. They share it every month. There are 6 of them. Do you understand? Do you know that when somebody who is in America, a doctor, heard what I was doing, she told me that I should put, and she calls it that she's going to buy the equipment, a consultation room that she can be in America and be meeting, talking to, that will just put Elon Musk internet there and be doing e-consultation. Do you understand? Somebody from my village, his name is Pete. When he saw what I was doing, he said, Kennedy, I don't know what to do for you. I know you have all the capacity. But please, call somebody to do a borehole here. That hospital has never had a borehole in the past 25 years. The man paid 5.5 million naira for a borehole to be drilled. He paid 3 million naira for them to put tank. My brother, I was taught. Do you understand? There are small things. That money is spent is less than $6,000. But the impact it will go is quite enormous.
Of course.
Things are changing. See, let me tell you. I believe in this government. I have seen some signs. I bought dollar when they just started at 1,960. My mortgage in London, I started paying down en masse when pounds came back to 19. I bought pounds at 2,450. So they are making an effort. Do you understand? And let me tell you, the biggest pain, you see a man who is carrying load on his head, and rather than you give him water or give him something to use to wipe his face, you push him on his back with your word and you push him down. You will live to regret where you do it. Because he's on a journey. He's carrying a heavy load on his head. I don't want to sound like a pastor, but brothers and sisters in diaspora, if you cannot invest in Nigeria or Africa, say, when you wake up, don't curse your child because your child is bad. You don't swear for your child and say, I hate you. It is an emotional abuse. Don't emotionally abuse all of us that are still here. God will bless everybody here. Please register. Let us have a conversation. I look forward to seeing all of you guys. Diaspora people. Me too, I be London boy, you. I be London boy. You understand? I be London boy. You know, North Street, London, NW for now we did
Our in it. All right, guys. So lovely hanging out with you tonight. Thank you so much, Dr. Ned. Thank you, my brother, Mr. Stats. Thank you, and of course, Oni Everest.
My number. Can I beg you something, Fedayo?
Yes.
Can you help me post? I'll send something to you, just a link that people can use to register. It's free. Do you understand? It's free. Just post it on your page. Even if to say that from now to Saturday, I think I'll beg you.
No problem. No problem. I'll go post that for start because right now everybody wants sleep.
When we don't wake up,
I'll go post them.
Yes.
Dr. Ned, anything for you. Even me, I believe in your government. Thank you so much, everyone. Do have a blessed night and see you guys in the morning. God bless you.
Final submission.
Kini what to mess
Choko Sweni.